Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today we'll be doing a flight scenario presentation for this semester. Alright, so the route we have planned is from KRYY, McCollum International, down to Jacksonville, KJAX. We're going to be flying on an IFR flight plan, and we are familiar with navigating through the Atlanta Bravo, as well as getting clearances and flying on a flight plan, an IFR flight plan. We'll be traveling down to Jacksonville, KJAX, which is a very busy Class Charlie airspace. We should be expecting to get an arrival into Jacksonville, most likely the Alcron 1 RNAV arrival, and then based off of the winds expected, looking to be shooting the RNAV runway 32 approach. And because of the weather at our destination, we're going to be required to file for an alternate, and so we're going to choose to go to KSGJ, which is Northeast Regional Airport, which is approximately 35 miles southeast of Jacksonville, and it is expected to be VFR weather there. And then, depending on some decisions that are made by our passengers, we might be needing to make a fuel stop along the way, and so Macon, Middle Georgia Regional KMCM will most likely be our fuel stop. The scenario for today, us as pilots, we're going to follow through with the PAVE checklist, and so as a pilot, we are commercially certified and instrument rated. We should be plenty comfortable and competent in the aircraft. We've been flying it for 175 hours. We do need to make sure that we have all our required currencies, 3 takeoffs and landings to a full stop within the past 90 days at night, which would be 1 hour after sunrise and 1 hour after sunset and 1 hour before sunrise, and that is in accordance with the FAR 6157. It says that we last flew with passengers about 95 days ago, but it does not specify if that was day or night. And then we do have 276 hours, with 10 hours of that being in IMC conditions. So we have some experience, but maybe not a whole lot. And we are instrument rated, so we do not fall under the restrictions for carrying passengers at night and outside the 50 nautical miles. But we do need to make sure that we are legal to fly this flight for compensation. As it is, if they would provide the aircraft, we would be fine. If we are providing the airplane or renting the plane, then we would need an operating certificate, and so we would need to work that out beforehand. As far as the aircraft goes, we're flying a Cessna 172 Sierra with the G1000 avionics. It says 175 hours in the aircraft. The aircraft is IFR certified, and we can expect it to burn approximately 8 gallons per hour at cruise. And so during the pre-flight planning phase, we need to account for the cargo and the passengers. So if we calculate our takeoff weight, our basic aircraft weight of 1758, the pilot being 200 pounds, and our passengers 165 pounds, 130 pounds, and 35 pounds. And then it states that they're carrying 125 pounds of total cargo, which was 50 pounds of luggage and 75 pounds of golf clubs. So first things first is the cargo. The Cessna is limited to 120 pounds in the cargo hold area, so they're going to have to make some decisions whether they're going to lose some luggage, lose some golf clubs, but they need to get it down to 120 pounds. Based off of all those weights, our zero fuel weight at 2413 and our max gross takeoff weight of 2550 gives us a remaining of 137 pounds or 22 gallons. And then based on the flight, we're looking at about 38 gallons if we were to try to complete it nonstop. But looks like we're going to need to reduce it by 16 pounds or more there are options. If we do a fuel stop, we need about 22 gallons to get there. So, 20. It was 38 gallons to get there. So, making a fuel stop, or we could either lose a passenger or lose some cargo. One way, we're going to have to make some decisions before we can take this flight. All right, the V in the PAVE checklist is for environment. The weather for the departure looks good. There is some light turbulence expected along the route, and our weather conditions are changing to an IFR conditions. The METAR is calling for low ceilings at 800 feet, which is about 500 feet above minimums. If we're shooting the RNAV runway 32, for me, that's right at my personal minimums. So I would be having a lot of discussions as to whether this flight, I feel safe to do it. We are carrying passengers, husband, wife, and daughter. So things like that are, going to play into mind. And then having a fuel stop, planned for Macon, that could help. It could give us a place to stop over, verify weather, see if we're good to continue or not. Our departure is planned for 1925 local, which is an hour before sunset. So this flight at 2.5 hours will be completed after dark. So that's another consideration is, nighttime flying. And again, making sure that we are current with our nighttime minimums for carrying passengers. And then external pressures. So there are a lot of external pressures on this flight. The potential for a high-paying job, flying corporate jets. You're flying your boss and their family. They're really looking forward to getting down there for this golf tournament. So those are all going to weigh heavy. You're going to have to fight your personal battles of your personal minimums, whether or not this is safe and you're doing something outside your comfort zone. And then based on the scenario, the daughter, she's going to start becoming ill approximately an hour into the flight, which is about the time we start hitting the IMC. So we're getting into some clouds at night, getting into some bumps. So things we can do to mitigate that or to work that problem, we can call ATC. We can see if they have any PIREPs, see if we can't get up above or a little lower. We were planning for 7,000, so we have room on both ends to either go up or down. And, we also have our possible planned fuel stop in Macon, which is right around that hour mark. So getting down before she gets sick and reevaluating the trip is all things that we can consider. And so that's all I got for this. There's a lot of questions and variables to this scenario, but we just want to make sure we think of everything. And hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thanks.